The film begins on Christmas night, with everyone decorating their homes. We see a man named Mikel, who had come to his elder sister's house with his wife and was playing with his nephew. As it was getting dark, he started putting his nephew to sleep so that he could go home, say goodbye to his sister, and leave. As his wife was driving the car, Mikel noticed that her mood seemed low. Mikel then asks, "What happened to you? Is there something bothering you? Tell me." His wife replies, "You know everything. I want a child." Mikel says, "I want one too, but not now, at the right time." His wife gets angry, saying, "You don't want it." They were arguing, and just then, another car quickly passed them and drove ahead. This caused their car to lose control. Although his wife managed to regain control, she steered into the wrong lane. Before their car could get back to the right side, a truck came quickly and hit their car. The impact caused the car to turn over, and Mikel was left in a bad state. In this accident, Mikel's life was saved, but his wife was killed. Now let's fast forward a year, when Mikel lives with his cat in a very large house. He learned from the news that a dangerous virus is spreading throughout the country, which could lead to borders being closed. This measure was intended so that people would stay wherever they were and not become infected with the virus. Because whoever is infected with this virus, the victim becomes extremely violent. That is, angrier and crueler than is typical. They are like zombies and they bite others badly. But now this virus is somewhat under control. That is, these infected people are not biting like zombies. This is referred to as the first variant of the virus. Now everywhere in the news, people were arguing about this virus, asking, how did it start? But Mikel did not care about any of this. He was already very sad after his wife's death. That's why he takes no precautions and drives his car to the city. In many places, we see signs that read, "Welcome to the beginning of the end." Mikel came to the seaside because his wife had bought a boat, and Mikel came to sell it. When he was going back after meeting the customer, his sister, whose name was Belen, called. But Mikel did not answer the call. Then he goes to a store where people are buying food like crazy. However, the news had advised that only necessary things should be bought. But people were afraid that if a lockdown was imposed, they would not be able to leave their houses. That's why they felt it was necessary to stockpile essential items. After coming home, Mikel calls his sister Belen. She says, "My husband is in the army, so we are being sent to an island because of him so that we can be saved from the virus infection. We will be given a house to live there. So you also come with us, my brother. We are leaving for there tonight." But Mikel clearly refuses. But Belen insists, "My brother, we should stay together at this time. So please, you also come. And yes, the flights are going to the island from the airport near you. So no doubt you'll come tomorrow, but please do come." Mikel himself did not want to go, but he agrees to his sister's insistence. And the next morning he left for the airport with his cat. On the way, he sees the cars of many other people who were also heading to the airport to go to the island. Mikel was listening to the news. He found out that the second variant of the virus, that is, the next wave of the virus, had emerged overnight. In this variant, the virus spreads by cutting and infecting a person. Mikel reached the airport and was in a long line to buy tickets because everyone wanted to go to the island. But then it is announced that the flight to the island has been canceled. Due to this, everyone was worried. How will we get to the island now? Then he got a call from Belen. She says, "Brother, the airport is being closed due to the second variant of the virus. That's why all the flights were canceled. For now, go home and don't go out. I will keep updating you and tell you what to do next." Then a riot breaks out at the airport, and Mikel somehow got out with his cat and left in the car for home. But on the way, he sees long lines of traffic. Even after waiting for many hours when the traffic did not clear, he took his cat and left for home on foot. It was night by the time he reached home, and what he saw, he was stunned, because there were army men standing near his neighbor's house who had constructed a kind of plastic tunnel around the house. Through this, they were forcibly dragging the neighbor out. This was because the neighbor was infected with the new variant of the virus. Mikel came home and slept. The next morning, Belen called. She says, "Brother, the situation is getting worse. It has been heard that the government is creating a safe zone for people where they can keep people separate and safe from infection. Because they will be quarantined there, that is, they will stay there. But the inside news is that there will be more danger there. Obviously, if the number of people is greater in one place, the risk of infection can increase. So whatever happens, don't leave the house. Don't go to the safe zone at all. Then as the situation improves, we will come for you." And when he checked his phone, there were also videos related to this virus. How to save yourself from infected people. and how other variants of the virus infect others. Seeing this, Mikel was worried. What is happening in this country? Then the government sent an emergency message that after a few hours, all people must come out and the markets will also be closed. That's why Mikel goes to the store to buy food and drink. But people had already emptied the whole store, and people were snatching and running with half of what Mikel was trying to buy. Mikel also put some things in the bag and he goes out. Then he saw that an infected man attacked the police. Mikel came out with a rod to save the police officer, but the infected's attention turned to him, and he started running towards Mikel. He tries to save himself, but then the infected dies by being shot. The bullet was fired by that officer. Mikel started moving forward to help him, but the officer was also infected because of the cut. That's why he tells Mikel to stay away from him. After Mikel's departure, the officer shot himself and killed himself so that he could not harm others. Mikel comes home and arranges his security. He puts extra locks, rods, and thick keys on the door so that no one can enter. By evening, the network was also shut down. At night, the army brought a bus to his area so that people could reach the safe zone. He announces and tells everyone to sit in the bus. Mikel hides there by turning off the lights of the house so that people cannot take him with them. Now let's look at the time after 2 weeks. Mikel was left alone in this whole area. He makes a video for his sister. He says, "I am absolutely fine here. The only problem is that the food has run out." Then when he tries to send the video, he can't do it because the network was shut down. He thinks, even if I don't die from the infection, I will definitely die of hunger. So he takes his weapons and goes in search of food. He checked many houses, but he didn't find anything to eat. He had come a long way from his house. When he went to a house, he found an old woman there who was in a wheelchair. This was because her legs didn't work. Mikel thinks that he can get food here, but no, there was no food here either. The old woman tells him, "I had kept an eye on some houses here. So you go to those houses. I hope there will be food there." When Mikel went to the houses mentioned, he found things to eat, which both of them ate to satisfy their hunger. But how long would this go on? That's why the old woman tells Mikel, "It would have been better if you had gone with the army. If we don't have anything to eat, then we will kill each other with hunger and eat." Mikel says, "We should not lose hope. I will go to find food." When he came to a house, he got a lot of food, from which he brings it home. And at night, both of them are very happy after eating to satisfy their hunger. He tells the old woman about his wife. "It was good that she died. Look at what we are forced to see. We don't even have food." After saying a few more things, he came to his house. Again, he makes videos and sends them to his sister, with the hope that whenever the network comes back at night, videos and messages will be sent. He then went to sleep, but then he heard the voice of the old woman on the walkie-talkie. She says, "Turn on the radio quickly." When he turned on the radio, the government officers announced, "Those who are still alive, they can come to us in the camping area safe zone. We will help you and send you to Ireland." The old woman says on the walkie-talkie, "I don't think this is right. In the crowd, the infection will spread quickly." Mikel says, "There is a shortage of food. We have to go there." She says, "I am in a wheelchair. I won't be able to go." Mikel says, "It's my responsibility. I will help you in every way. I will take you with me." The next morning, he packed his luggage and came to the old woman's house. But seeing this, he breaks down. The old woman is dead because she took her life by taking sleeping medicine. She also left a letter. "Thank you for taking care of me for so many days. I couldn't be a burden on you anymore. That's why I took this step. Now you go ahead alone from here." Then he left the house alone with a sad heart. But an infected woman attacks him. He pushes the woman away from himself and shoots her to save his life. Although he feels bad doing this, he leaves a message for his sister again. He says, "Sister, now the infected people have come in the streets. I can't wait for you to come anymore and take me with you, so I am coming myself." Saying this, he leaves for the safe zone camping area from where he expects to be sent to the island. But because the road was closed, he started going through the jungle. But a lot of infected people follow him. But he doesn't stop the bike. He reaches the camping area where he was told to come. But unfortunately, there were also a lot of dead bodies there. This was because all the people who had come here died because of the infection, and a lot of people were infected. Now his bike overturns after colliding with a dead body, due to which the box with the cat also fell down. And now when he tries to start the bike, he can't do it. That's why he takes the box with the cat. He takes the box and walks out of the jungle because the infected people were after him. He runs to a building and closes the door. Infected people start hitting their heads there. And he goes out of the back door. he sees a small ship which he boards, but he was worried to see blood on the ship. Then a voice started coming from the cabin, and when he opened the door and saw, there was a small baby there, who had also become infected, and he was looking very drowsy. Mikel thinks, if someone was very infected, then I would have killed them and taken the ship. But how do I kill the baby? Thinking this, he takes a small boat from the ship and leaves. On the way, he again messaged Belen. Sister, you were right. Don't go to the safe zone, because there is also a bad situation there. Some people died and some became infected. It was night while traveling. He also sees the dead bodies of the infected people in the water. Then he saw a small ship coming towards him. He signaled to the ship and stopped it. The people on the ship point a gun at Mikel. But when he said that, I am not infected, then they brought him on board. Then they all traveled together on a big ship. Mikel and his cat are given food. There were 3 people here. One was the pilot, the second was the captain of the ship, and the third was another captain. The pilot gives Mikel a cabin to sleep in. He asks the pilot, "Did you only rescue me alive?" The pilot says, "Yes, you are the first." After his departure, Mikel looks out the window, where a family is also coming towards his ship to help. The next morning, Mikel met the other people who were already living there. He asked the pilot about that family. "Where are they? Who was coming to the ship to help last night?" The pilot says, No one came to talk to you last night." Hearing this, he felt that something was wrong, and he starts looking at everything very carefully. And the pilot says that the family who came last night was kept in the basement. The pilot says, "Don't think so much and mind your own business. Forget everything else." Mikel felt weird again. He says, "You are a pilot. Then what are you doing with them on the ship? I know there are planes and helicopters in the nearby area. Then we can also go to the island using them." The pilot got angry. He says, "Mikel, if you want to stay alive, mind your own business and just think about staying alive." But now Mikel thinks of running away from here alone. When he started leaving at night, he remembered the family. When he was looking for them, he came to the basement, where the family members were tied up and had a bandage on their mouth. Mikel removes the bandage from their mouth. He asks, "We had a woman and a child. Where are they?" The man refused. "I don't know." But then the captain's man came here, who pointed the gun directly at Mikel. But before that, the pilot comes at the right time. He comes with a rope and kills the captain's man. He also scolds Mikel. He says, "I told you to stay away from these matters." After that, Mikel ran away with a small boat. But the captain's people saw them, and they started shooting, in which the man whom he had just saved dies, and the pilot gets injured. Then Mikel reaches the shore and takes the pilot to the hospital, because they could get a helicopter from the hospital roof. On the way, Mikel asks him, "What happened to that family's woman and child?" The pilot says, "This captain is a very bad and disgusting person. He saves people, takes them to the island, makes the dead his slaves, and abuses women." Mikel also got angry after hearing this. He says, "When the situation is fine, then such people who are taking advantage of people in trouble should be punished." As soon as he reached the hospital, a lot of infected people started running towards him to attack, but Mikel shoots at them all with his machine gun and kills them. Then he came in with the pilot's support. But there was no nurse here and no doctor. There was blood everywhere. That means there was destruction here too. Mikel kills one infected person. Then the pilot asks him to take out his bullet. Mikel had never done this before, nor was it his profession. But today the situation was so difficult that he himself had to work as a doctor. When he went to get the supplies, another infected man chased him. Then Mikel shoots him with great difficulty and saves his life. But due to the sound of the gun, a lot of infected people come here and chase Mikel. He saved his life and ran away. Then a nurse came in front of him and helped him. She took Mikel to that area, which the infected people had not reached yet. Apart from this nurse, there was a doctor and 3 children there. Now the nurse goes to another room to take out the pilot's bullet. Then she came and said, "I have taken out the bullet. He will be fine after some time." Mikel tells her that he is a pilot by profession, so there are helicopters here. Then the nurse says, "Yes, there are helicopters, but they are standing below. But there are a lot of infected people nearby, so going there is not free of any danger." Mikel tells the nurse that when we had an accident, I brought my wife here. Then he took her to the place where his wife died. He says with a sad heart, "Please forgive me that I did not listen to you. I needed time to have a child, but I did not know that you would leave me so soon." Now Mikel goes up and thinks how to reach the helicopter safely. Then the bells of his phone started ringing. A lot of messages started coming. That means the network had returned. When he checked, it was a video message from Belen, which was saying that, "We have reached the island. This is something very good. We are enjoying it a lot." Menel was also going to talk about himself. Then he heard the sound of bullets. These were some goons who came here in search of food. Menel quickly goes down and tells them, "The goons have come to the hospital. Before they reach the helicopter, we have to reach the helicopter." And now they started moving forward, saving themselves from the infected people, where an infected person comes and bites the doctor. Although Menel killed him, the doctor was thinking, "I have also become infected." She tells the nurse to take care of the children and goes inside the infected area, after which they move forward. Now they had to get to the helicopter. Then Menel thinks. He sees some barricades here, under which there were also tires. He joins all those barricades and makes a circle, in which they enter and leave. But a tire got stuck at one place. When they tried to get rid of it, the barricades collided with each other and made a noise, by which all the infected people came to them. But because of the barricades, they could not cause any harm to them. But when all the infected people started climbing from above, then they started hitting them with axes. But their number was very high and there was no use. Meanwhile, the nurse opens a barricade, takes the children, and runs away, and quickly comes in the helicopter and sits down. After a while, the pilot also came in the helicopter. Now Menel alone fights with the infected people. After a while, he also comes in the helicopter and sits down. But we don't know what happened. The helicopter does not start, and some infected people jump over the gate and start coming into the helicopter area. Then Menel comes quickly and starts cutting at them with an axe. Hearing this noise, the goons also came here. They also had a gun, and they also entered the helicopter area. Look at this. Menel and the pilot got worried about what to do now. They both looked at each other and made a plan. Menel breaks a gate with his axe, due to which many infected people start entering the helicopter area quickly. Now the goons got busy fighting with them. By then the helicopter had also started, and the pilot starts flying with it. The nurse throws the ladder down for Menel. After climbing on it, he comes into the helicopter with great difficulty. He was very happy because he was just about to reach the island. He calls Belen and says, "Sister, I have shown my commitment. I am about to reach the island. The helicopter is about to land." But then Belen says something, and Menel's color fades. She says, "My brother, go back immediately, because there are also many infected people there. This place is also not safe anymore." And her phone call is cut off. But Menel took the helicopter and landed on the island, because now he will also save his sister and her family and take them back. And with this film ends here. See you in the next recap. Thanks for watching.